applying job at the moment? Have you had any prior experience in applying jobs in the UK? So if you are a recent graduate and have ever picked up an application form before, this video is perfect for you. So today I'm going to spend a little bit of time to talk about the application process for a typical UK graduate job. So a typical application journey would include the following stages. So first of all, the online application stage. Secondly, the interview stage. Thirdly, the assessment center. And then lastly, if you're lucky, when applying for the professional services firm, or what we call Big 4, Big A, sometimes they have a partner interview in the end as a last hurdle. So first of all, what is application stage? Usually it would include two parts. First part would be application form you have to fill in. So usually we're talking about your personal details such as your date of birth, work history, or anything you have done as extracurriculums activities in the past, or any honors you have received. And sometimes companies would ask you some open-ended questions. For example, why are you applying for us? Or why do you want to applying for this particular position? And so this means you probably have to spend a little bit of time doing a bit of research before you can answer these type of questions. Once you have submitted the application forms, and then you will be invited to do online tests. Now, online tests there's a lot of different types of online tests, but typically there will be a logical test where you would need to guess the next graph based on a series of patterns, or it could be a numerical test where you'll be given some graphs and some figures, and you have to do some calculations to work out. So if you are successful with the application stage, then you will be invited to do an interview. Now, most of the interview would be conducted over the phone nowadays because the technology has moved and it makes it easier for everyone. And usually big firms would outsource this part to a third independent party, and you will be asked mostly two types of questions. The first type, what we call competence questions. Give an example. So for example, can you tell me a time that you led a team? Or can you tell me a time you worked in a team? Or can you tell me a time that you utilized your communication skills? And you probably realize that these type of questions get asked by every single employer when you conduct interviews in the UK. And this is fairly common, and you can definitely prepare in advance. And the second type of interview questions, what we call motivational questions, is slightly different. So a typical motivational questions could be, why do you apply for us? Or why do you want to be a management consultant if you are applying for a consultancy firm? Or could you tell me a recent industry news? And you probably realize that this is a little bit similar towards the the first part of the application stage. And the difference is obviously this time you have to speak it out rather than write it down. So if you are successful with the interview, big thumbs up, and you will very likely to get into what we call assessment center. Now, a lot of people absolutely hate assessment center because it is purely the most challenging part of the application process. However, it is also the most fun part, especially after you practice a few times. You would get a hand of it, and I trust you. Trust me, you will be good at it. So a typical assessment center day or half a day usually consists of some activities such as written exercise, where you'll be given some materials, and then you have to read the materials and write a business case or business decision. And then there will be also sometimes a presentation you have to do, or a face-to-face interview you have to do, or the most interesting part of the recruitment process of person, I think, is a group discussion, where a group of you guys will be handed out with some materials and given some time to read before you regroup and to discuss and make a decision at a given time, let's say half an hour. So in these types of tests, the company can really test your competencies in the next level. And really, you can't fake it. So once you are successful with the assessment center, congratulations, you're pretty much there. You're very, very close to offer. If you're applying for banks, that usually means you will get in the offer straight away. However, if you're applying for professional services firms such as Big Four or Big Eight, like I just discussed, there is a chance that you have to do a final partner interview where you spend any time between 45 minutes to 1 hour face-to-face in the office discussing with a senior member of the team, usually a partner or at least a director level, about your interest in applying for the company. So it's usually a quite casual talk and very similar to the interview you have conducted earlier in the application process. So that's pretty much it. So at Career Vantage, we do guide the students every step along the way, and we will coach you how to prepare for these interview questions, and we have a mock assessment center pretty much happening every single week, where we can help you greatly enhance your job application, success chance. So do pick up the phone, speak to us, or add us on WeChat, and hope to hear from you.